let me close with this question, which is, we're bringing our teams together. How do you prepare your team for their first meeting with our team? So we're going to bring our infrastructure teams together, our innovation teams together, our data teams together, and we're going to have a common meeting. How do you sort of prepare them? What's the I don't know, how do you make sure that first meeting goes well?
Well, I would go back to what we've already talked about in terms of the relationship and the dynamic between the larger and the smaller organizations, in prepping people and helping them understand and message. What I would emphasize with people is that change is constant and we don't have all the answers. Your communication is critical. I subscribe to, the approach that you tell people what you know when you can. You tell people if you don't know. If you don't have answers yet, you tell them you don't and when you might. And if you have information that you can't yet share for whatever reason, you tell them, we do know that, we've made that decision, but we can't go public yet. I'm a big subscriber to the philosophy or to the belief that that lack of information, that people make stuff up. That's how all the rumors start, right? It just goes round and round. So if people aren't getting any regular proactive communication, they're going to make stuff up. And then you just have to try to manage that. What I would also, obviously with the advice of HR, how do you talk about future work? And on the one hand, you can message, there's plenty of work for everybody, we know that. On the other hand, you have to say no guarantees as to whether there'll be changes or staff reductions. And HR tells you what to say and how to say it, and what not to say. The other thing, my message to individuals, because individuals get really worried at a time like this, is twofold. One, open to the possibilities. Who knows what changes there's going to be and what new opportunities, new jobs, new skills, they can learn. So be open to the possibilities. The other thing I tell people is you own your own career. So depending on what those possibilities are and those changes, if you like them, if you don't like them, if you want to propose, you put me in this role instead, every individual owns their own career.
Yeah, and that's why you're a great career coach for people looking for some guidance in that area. The thing, bringing the teams together, there was a couple things that I thought were non-negotiables. One is one of the leaders had to address the IT team, especially since there's no due diligence. IT might feel slighted, the fact that there was no due diligence and that kind of stuff. So one of the leaders being there and saying, technology is critical, digital is the future of healthcare, all those things that we all know is true, just reinforcing that these two teams coming together. They also need to reinforce the message, which is we brought it together, and the business drivers, right? We brought it together because we believe that the new entity will be stronger together than it was apart, which means we're looking to this group to figure out what things we're doing the best. And it might not be that the larger entity is doing everything the best. It might not be that we want to take best of each and make something better. And then, the last thing to prepare my team for the conversation is to just set realistic expectations. And it is every healthcare IT organization has warts. And so I don't want like this big deluge of people coming into my office like, do you know that they have these issues? It's like, of course they have these issues. It's a $13 billion organization. Do you know how hard it is to run our $6 billion organization? We have warts. They have warts. The goal is, if people can be honest and you can remove the fear from that situation and we can develop something better. And that's really one of the key things I would leave people with is, as the leader of the IT organization, you have to figure out a way to remove fear from the equation, because people do dumb things when they act out of fear. And so that's where communication becomes key. Again,
I bet you're going to transition us. Can I say one other thing?
Please.
Before we transition, and some of the people listening to this probably know that I write a weekly blog called Health IT Connect. And I have written a couple blogs around the issues of mergers and acquisitions. One was Merger Mania, where I talked about making sure we're doing what's right for the patient. Another one was about culture, which gets at what we were talking about in terms of the dynamic between people, and it's really about respect. And the other one was about corporate functions, but local service, and that challenge, whether it's a result of a merger or just a very large system that's grown, making sure that you understand the unique needs of all the players within your organization.
Yep. It's a great blog, and we'll be coming back to that in the soundbite
Sure.
section. So